Hey, so I don't know if I'm gonna have any luck today or not, but I'm gonna try this because you guys were so encouraging yesterday, trying to get my iPad up to see good. Looks like I'm looking the right way. So the first 2 to 3 times I was trying to start this live video and it was coming up sideways, and that just drives me crazy. So I actually have a rubber band now holding my phone in my phone holder and trying to get it to be the right way for you guys to see me and to see my project. So I think I need this distraction of my Facebook Live just because my guys are outside and they are cutting down major trees like right in my front yard, and hopefully I can talk loud enough where that's not going to be louder than what I have to say and such. Hi Lisa, hi Alice. And so by having me have a distraction in here, then I won't worry about that. The last 2 big hunks of tree trunks that came down came from way above the house, and when they hit the ground, they kind of made the whole house thump. So I'm hoping that this will provide that distraction so I don't get nervous watching them out there too. So what I want to bring to you today is another simple card. Hopefully yesterday my card wasn't too simple or anything, but today I wanted to show you this little guy, and I'm pretty sure that the wording's going to look a little bit backwards and such, but you'll get the gist of it, and hopefully you can follow along. And I'm not a professional at this, and I want everybody to know that you don't have to be a professional. Just if you enjoy paper crafting, that's what it's all about. Hi Faith, thanks for joining in. So this little sheep comes from the catalog, Handmade for You. Oops, Handmade for You. It's in the mini catalog, and it is on page 45. So I've been using this set a ton, and usually when I think of Easter, I think this is Easter to me, you know, the hope, the cross, everything. And so I just thought the reason this one pulled me in is it was more than Easter. It can be the cuteness of Easter. Hi Shelly. It can be for babies. I love that there's a welcome to the world, little one, and that's what I'm going to focus on today. And you can also put sweet friend. You can make this kind of just be anything cutesy. So often too, the reason why I went with yellow for kind of my base coloring is people are having their baby showers before the baby's born. And so if you want to put together a card to go with your gift and you go, well, I don't know if they're having a boy or girl. Often they know that too. So so just doing yellow makes it a card for a little sweet one that can be boy or girl. Or if you're like me and like to have cards on hand ahead of time, then you can also have that card ready if you want to make up just a handful to have on hand, and you don't have to worry if it's a boy or a girl. So these are fun to do with both boy and girl cards, yellow, green, think colors like that, or even a light purple would be really cute today, and that wouldn't have to be a boy or a girl color too. So so like I said, I want to do these videos. I want to do 10 videos, and like I said, I'm not nervous about the card that I'm making. I'm not nervous about making it in front of you. My nerves are always like, I hope that the technology allows it to happen and that you're not seeing things sideways or whatever. So I will get started and such. And so I kind of want to do start to finish. Maybe tomorrow I'll have some of the things pre-cut so it doesn't take so much time. But if you are thinking like this is a brand new thing you might want to venture out on, I want to show people how you can go from start to finish and what you all need to make that happen. Hi Tabitha, thanks for joining in. So I'm going to try and push this down a little bit so that you can see my work area, and hopefully that will hold its place, otherwise I am sunk. Okay, I think that's going to be maybe good enough, or okay, I'll just have to make sure that I stay within my space here, and that should be easy enough to do. So yep, so we're gonna use this set, Welcome Easter. It has all sorts of little things. So ahead of time I took and I put my little sheep on the block and my little sentiment, Welcome to the World, little one, on a block. And this little tiny bee just is going to add a little cute thing to the stamp or to the card too. So that's the stamp set. And then for getting the card ready, I'm going to take some thick Whisper White. So the Whisper White you can buy in regular cardstock quality and thickness, and you can also buy in Very Vanilla and Whisper White a thicker cardstock. And I know when I use my thicker cardstock, I'm going to want to score. This is my scoring blade. I'm going to want to score that. It just makes it so much easier to fold your card and crease it in half because it's a thicker cardstock. And then I'm going to cut that in half with my trimmer blade. So I have 2 card bases, and as yesterday I said, I normally create more than 1 card at a time. So with my bone folder, then I'll just make that crease happen. Like I said, with this being the thicker cardstock, making that crease just makes it so that I don't have a spine on my card that is kind of wrinkled, crinkled. It just makes for a nice little crease there. And then the color that I chose for my yellow is Daffodil Delight. It's kind of a softer but bright yellow, so I thought that would be good. So the measurement I'm going to need for that is, I always do the quarter step down, so that's going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4, because my card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'll need that piece from the Daffodil Delight. And then I'm just going to grab the next measurement for the next one down, which will then be another quarter, 3.75 by 5 inches, like so. So I'll set that aside. And these are the pieces we'll need, as well as just a little strip of white too. So I'm going to start with my stamping. I just have a Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad here, and that's going to be all I'm going to need for my ink pads. So I'm just going to ink up my little lamb here. Hello, Stacy, I miss you much. So I just have that stamped out, and then I'm going to also stamp out the cute little bee like so. So we have that. I'll kind of put it a little bit closer. And so as you notice there, I just tapped. It wasn't anything like heavy duty for my stamping. And hi, Margaret. And then I'm just going to take and do my greeting right away too on my little piece of paper here, so then I can kind of just move that out of my workspace and my stamps. So next what I'll do is I'll do some coloring here, and I think I'm going to start with my yellow. And these are the blends. Stampin' Up! Also has double-tipped regular markers. These are alcohol-based markers, and they go really well with this Memento Black ink pad. So anytime you use blends, you'll use Memento Black ink pad too. So I'm just using 1 color of the yellow. Blends come in a light and dark combination, like you'll see when I get to the petal pink. But using Daffodil Delight, I'm only going to color in where the little bow is around his neck. And just because it's such a small area, and same with the bee, I have a little fuzz on there. Same with the bee, it's just such a small little area that it doesn't really have to be two-tone colored in. And then there's a little heart that says, "Welcome to the world, little one." So I'm gonna color that. Oops, there it went. I knew that was gonna happen. Let's try that again. Like I said, I don't claim to be a professional, so I'm gonna have to hire one of my boys maybe to help me out sometime too if it doesn't work out right. Okay. I want to make sure that you can still see my work surface here. I don't want to move anything now. Okay, I think I'm back on. So I'm just doing all my yellow first, and then I'm going to go with my light and pink, light and dark petal pink. I'm going to go with the dark first, and I'm going to color in his cute little nose. and around his mouth, and then the inside line of his ears. And then I'm also going to go around the outside of his face. The light petal pink, even though it's pinkish in color, it's more of a peachy pink. So it's kind of nice for things that you don't want to become too pinky, just kind of color to it. So I'm just gonna go on his little hooves in that dark color. And then for, a little lower. Okay. I think that's all the lower I can go, Stacy, but thanks for the hints. I appreciate that. So I switched from the dark to the light, and now I'm just going to take and go in those ears with the lighter around there. And actually, you know, we're so used to going or coloring inside the lines. I'm gonna kind of go outside just to add a little shading with that. I'm gonna switch to the brush tip, and I'm just gonna color over all of that like so. And it just kind of pulls some of that color that's on the outline in, and I can color right over top that nose too. And hi Rachel, hi Carla. And then I'm gonna go actually over the eyes, just color a little circle in there to make that pop a little bit as well, and maybe darken things up that I've went over. So the lamb, I want him to stay soft and cute looking, so I'm just gonna take my light smoky slate and just outline him. And so just by taking and staying within the lines here and following that little area like so, and I'm just gonna do a little scribble over the line that has one of his little crinkly, soft, furry looks to it there. Just gonna barely add color, but it's really gonna make him outlined and popped and still look fuzzy cute. And I'm actually gonna go right underneath the chin and right underneath the bow. And just adding some of that little bit of gray in that area is going to make his bow pop. And sometimes it can actually make it look as if it is cut out and popped up when you do that with the light smoky slate. And I love adding just a little bit of the smoky slate underneath where the lamb is sitting. So adding color like that will make it look as if he has a surface to sit on, and just adds a little bit more depth to your card too. So I have to admit, I was never one that loved to color. Like, okay, to me that was too putsy, took up too much time. With the blends, they're so smooth, love them to death, love them, love them. So I'm just gonna set that aside while I work on the little tag here. So I have the pretty label, or actually this is the timeless label punch from the annual catalog. And I put my punches so they're facing me, so I can just feed in my sentiment there, and I know that it's all squared and centered in there. And I'll just pop that out. And then another product that I brought out to use today is the detailed trio punch. And so it's interesting that if I wanted to use this to decorate my corner, there's two sides, so I could feed that in and it would make a cute corner edge. And then this is actually a corner rounder, so I can see that I want to feed that in like that. This one is the one I'm going to use today, and it's just going to make a little notch in my tag to feed some ribbon through. What I find exciting about it is the edge guides on that are meant so that your paper is straight on, which I'm going to need for this type of thing. So seeing this, I'm just with my eye going to line up where this is right in the center, and then just press it until it stops, and I punch straight down. And then I'm going to do the same thing the other way. So it's a little crooked, probably just based on nerves, because my sample, when I did that one, I got that lined up well, but I kind of, you know, just don't want to spend too much time lining it up and that, but I want it to look halfway decent. So before I add the ribbon and such, I'm going to take my snail adhesive and just put some of that on here, and then layer that on my Daffodil Delight cardstock. And then it's time for the ribbon. So as I mentioned yesterday, often I will just keep it on the spool because that way I know I have enough ribbon and I don't ever feel like I'm too short with my big hands, too short on ribbon. So I'm just gonna wrap that around there like so, thread that through those little things that I did. And I think this card will be kind of forgiving that I didn't get the little holes lined up exactly perfect because the emphasis will now be on the cute little knot. And I'm not going to cut that, and I left this a little loose because I do want this to pop just a little bit more. And so with my dimensionals here, I'm going to take a dimensional and peel off the top. I didn't want to put dimensionals on first and then try and do all that thready thread through with the ribbon because I thought, oh, the dimensionals are just going to get sticky, which they are, which we like, but I still want it popped up. So I love my take your pick tool. So I'm just going to put about 3 dimensionals behind my little tag here. So that way that will end up being popped up like so. There, so now we've got it secure. I can give that an extra little pull or tug to get it secure, and then I'll cut kind of at an angle with my paper snips here, or I call my ribbon snips. And so I've got that there, and then I can just attach this, because it's around that layer, to my card base, like so. And there we go. This one got up a little high. I think I like it lower on my other card, so I'm gonna see. This is always the test, and Stacy said I was keeping it real, and I really feel like I am. So I'm gonna move it down because I think it just looks like it's floating way too high up in the air. So with my take your pick tool, I'm gonna kind of flatten out my ribbon there, and I already like the look of it being down a little bit. So hopefully now my dimensionals will still stick. Yes, they're sticking well. Good. Hello, Sage. How are you? Okay, so I've got that, and I was almost going to leave the card looking just like that, but then I realized starting yesterday, there's a new early release on Ornate Garden Suite products. So if you go to my website, or if you got my email or follow me on Facebook, yesterday I talked about this suite of products. So kind of a picture of it, and it shows the different stamp sets and products and different things. I know that it's mirrored, so I'm not gonna like keep showing it to you that way, but some of the products from that I was able to pre-order as a demonstrator. And so I got some of the ribbon. It comes as a 2-pack, and it coordinates with the colors that are in the designer series paper. And then I thought this embossing folder was really cute and pretty too, so I got that. And then this is what I want to add to the card. So these are gilded gems, and they're kind of gold, but like a yellowish gold. So I didn't want something too sparkly to be too much for the softness of the baby card. So I'm just going to take one of the larger gilded gems, and this is another reason I love my take your pick tool, is I love picking and poking with this end, and then the tacky end on this one, I can just take that and give it a push, and it sticks to the tacky, and I can transfer that right onto my card, and then take the next smaller one and line that up like so, and then the smaller one, kind of line that up too. So just adds a little bit more. I always like a little bit more bling on my cards and such, and that does it. So so what I'm doing for Stamp Camp, and I bet my son's coming in and forgot that I'm doing Facebook Live. There we go. So I'm gonna try and flip my camera up here without breaking my rubber band or my phone or my concentration. So what I'm doing for Stamp Camps, the month of April, since I can't be in person in my home, I wish I could be giving you guys treats like I usually do, but because I have to, you know, keep my distance from everyone, and I want everybody to be safe. I'm doing virtual stamp camps, so April 1st through the 10th, 1 through 10 cards like I would normally do. And so because of Stampin' Up! Copyright policies, I can't stamp all this out and send it to you for you to assemble. But you can either order the supplies. So if you have any questions, as soon as I post this video, I will go to my computer, upload the card, and then underneath I will have all the supplies needed to make. So you'll see thick cardstock, white cardstock, daffodil, all of that. You'll know what ink colors I used, what blend colors I used, all of that. So if you want to place an order of $75 or more, you'll get all of my 10 cards for this month made up and sent to you. And so far I have 5 sets I'm going to make up. I'm so excited about that, for sure. And otherwise, if you go, you know what, I just don't want the stuff, I like Belle's cards, and that'd be kind of fun to bless other people during this time when we can't get out and about. So if you just want the cards, I can make up a set of 10 cards, mail them right out to you, or deliver if you're close. I can safely deliver that and get those out to you too, and that would be $22 for the set of 10 cards. So if you want to go back to my Facebook page and or my website, or even Pinterest, if you follow me there, you can see yesterday's card that I did. So that's the first card. This is card number 2. And if you just kind of want to wait and see what the other 8 cards are going to look like before you decide if you want a set or not, that's totally fine too. So those are the 2 ways that you can get the cards. Or if you're just at home and going, you know what, I have all this stuff, this is what I needed. It's going to be icky weather again, starting tonight and tomorrow and maybe the next day. Maybe you just need some inspiration. So I hope that I am providing that for you as well. So if you have any questions, let me know, because I'll be spending a lot of time at home too, and taking care of my boys, feeding them and such. And my grandson comes in and out as well, which is such a blessing to have him so close to during this time. So hope you guys are all doing well and staying healthy, and thanks so much for joining in, and hope to see you again tomorrow afternoon. Thanks. Bye-bye.